Hey, welcome to the podcast. This is The Surge Effect, and I'm your host, Mike Surge. This podcast will be talking about anything and everything, life in general to current events and past events, and all things about this beautiful and wonderful world that we live in. And this podcast, well, it'll probably have an effect on you. Well, hello again, and welcome to another episode of The Surge Effect. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about podcasts and starting your own podcast, how to set up a podcast, just simple things, basic steps you'll need to be able to do podcasting. And in this episode, I'm going to explain to you basically how to set up a channel and explain to you some of the things that you will need, just basic things. You don't need to break the bank to start a podcast and get your word out and get an idea out of what you want to accomplish. So basically in starting a podcast, there's several steps that you have to do. It's a process to create and start a podcast. So in this podcast, of course, mine is The Surge Effect, and I'm just going to try to explain to you a little bit how the podcast works, and just from a basic standpoint of just to get you started. So let's get started. So the first things that you want to do is to say to yourself, why do you want to create a podcast? Why do you want to do this? Is it to help others? Is it to just have some fun? Is it to make money? Is it just for the sheer enjoyment of doing the podcast? What is the reason that you want to do a podcast? So first off, you got to figure that one out first. And then after that, you say to yourself, okay, now after getting those out of the way, I just wanted to start my podcast because it's fun. But remember that it's not for everyone. Podcasting's not for everyone. It's not as easy as people might think it is, and it's not as easy as some people make it look. It's a lot of work in behind the scenes, of course, putting one together, and initially setting up your channel, and then of course getting equipment to get things moving. So let's get into it. Let's get right into it. So to get your podcasting up and going, you want to figure out a possible theme for your podcast, a name for your podcast. Might be an easy task for some, maybe not so easy for others. Podcasts, they might include certain things like sailing. I had a friend that I work with that's into sailing, and he might be wanting to get into something like this. Political stuff, equipment, explaining how equipment works, cameras, explaining how different types of cameras, gaming. The list goes on and on. It's endless, but you have to figure out your own niche. Whatever that niche is, everyone has a little something that they're interested in. I just happen to be interested in a lot of different things. That's why I cover, political stuff and UFO stuff and just talking to people about different things. It's kind of open for me, a little bit of an open board. But some people just have a niche that they want to stay with and just stick to. So I've put together a little basic video of how to create a YouTube channel. It's real basic. It's only a couple minutes long, but hopefully it'll help you set up your initial channel. So take a look at this. All right, so first off, to sign into YouTube, you can use an email or a phone number. You can put it in that space right there. Click next when you're done that. But to create that account, you can create an account for yourself. Or you can create an account for, of course it says My Child, or you can create an account to manage a business. And when you are done with that, choosing what you want, you click next. Then you create your Google account. You want to put in your own name and your real name, of course, and your last name, as well as your email address. You want to also put in your password after you put in your email address. Your password has to be 8 characters or more, a mix of letters and or numbers and symbols. So you can sign in if you already have an account, or of course sign in if you don't, and then click next. Sign into that with your channel name, and your channel name you put in there, and then you click create channel. After you create your channel, you'll get something like this. Your name will be up there, and then of course you have your home, and you can start uploading videos right away. If you want to go in behind the scenes and look at your dashboard, what other people don't see, of course you can click on that area there and then click on your YouTube studio. It opens like a back window of creating stuff in your YouTube channel. And like I said, this is what people don't see. Only you see this. So you can get down to customization in that channel, or you can go down to settings. Go to settings first, and then you want to go to this area of your channel, and then you go over to the third area for the features and click it. So you have standard and intermediate and then advanced. Right now basically you have a standard feature. The intermediate feature, it only allows you to do certain things, like intermediate's 15-minute videos. You can do some live streaming and some custom thumbnails for the intermediate. As you want it down to the one below this intermediate one is the advanced one. So the advanced features, of course, you have to verify all these using a phone number. So you go ahead and you can do text verification, or you can do a call, put your phone number in, and then they send you a code. Once they send you that code, for that you can verify via phone number. Once you've done all that and everything's been completed, you can monetize your channel. You can start to. You need to have 1,000 subscribers minimum, and you need 4,000 hours watched minimum. As soon as you have that, your channel will be monetized. Congratulations. Okay, so once you've created your channel, you'll be able to change things from your YouTube area, of course. Log into your YouTube channel, and you can enter, change, delete items on the back end of that channel, like I explained before. There's stuff on that back end, of course, that only you can see and no one else can see it. So you also want to start creating your videos for your channel as soon as possible. No problem. You start uploading them right away as well, and you'll have to record them, then upload them, or you can either record them like I'm doing. I record them first and then I upload them, or you can do a live stream. Up in the top right hand corner on your back end, you can literally click live and go do a live stream on that channel. You want to organize your podcasts, of course, say your scripts. You want to put stuff together. I personally use a couple different pieces of software, several different pieces of software you can use. The one that I use, it's called Milanote. It's very friendly. I find it very user-friendly. It took me a little while to catch on to it, but once I caught on to how it worked out really well. And that's one I use personally. There's also another piece of software that you can use. It's out there. It's called Craft. Now, Craft is really detailed. A lot of people use it. A lot of people don't. But it's all preference. You can use Craft, like I said. It's a bit of a learning curve to it. A lot more detailed organizational tool. But I'll put both those links in the description below this video. Now, to start doing your videos, you can do something as simple as record your podcast for audio and video on an iPhone. You can literally use an iPhone or an Android just by using your camera, doing your video and your audio. Set up your phone on a small tripod and press record, and away you go. And then you can upload that when you're done. It just depends on what you want to accomplish. and how you want to get there. I personally use a Fuji camera is what I use, and it's basically sitting on a tripod. And I also use for my recording, for my audio, I use what's called an H6 Zoom. It's a recorder. It's a standalone recorder. So I do both my audio for my recorder and my video, and I separate them, and then I combine them when it comes to editing at the end. Now, from doing a little bit of research, there's another one that's out there for doing podcasts, and it's called the Podcast. It's like a production studio, basically, and it's called a Rodecaster Pro. I'll put the link of that as well in the description below, as well as my H6 Zoom that I use. That'll be in the description below as well. That'll probably be a great upgrade for me at some point, is probably using the Rodecaster Pro. Just because it's kind of one step up, I think, as far as like having the all-around experience for the podcast. And you can literally take your audio and put it right into your computer using the Rodecaster. Just from online research that I've found for cameras as well, for podcasting and vlogging, there's another one. It's a Canon EOS M50. Now, this camera, it's pretty cool. It does a lot of really cool features, but every time I've done research about it, this camera keeps popping up online about the best one to use for vloggers, YouTubers. It has a side screen that flips out, so you can see yourself while you're doing recording. So that helps out tremendously, of course. I will also put the description and a link for all these items in this description below, in this video below. So moving forward from there, in my own setup of what I have curtains in the back. You can see them just behind me. By using those curtains, I have a stand for those curtains, and I just hang the curtains on that stand. I got a lot of the stuff off of Amazon, and I'll put these items, of course, in links below this video. Now, lighting that I use lighting in the back. You can probably see it behind me. I use lighting in the front as well. Different types of lighting to make the picture, obviously, appear better on the video. You don't want too many darks and shadows and stuff like that, so you want to light yourself up. I'll also drop those links of some of those cameras the lights that I use in the description below. I have headphones, of course. I use these for listening to my own tone, and I listen to other people that have headphones on, so you don't talk over top of each other. You can adjust the levels by using basically a little, it's like a hub where you can put, so like a junction box. You can put 4 sets of headphones in that, and you can adjust the levels accordingly. Now, the headphones that I use this particular brand. It's the Audio Technique. You see that there, the Audio Technique. I use those, and they seem to suit the purpose. They're not like really, really high end, and they're really not really low end, but they suit my purpose, and that's all I really wanted for sound quality. It works out well. Now, for the use of microphones, I use the Rode PodMic. The price is really good, and I personally like this mic. I like the sound of it. And once again, after doing a lot of research, the best ones, of course, to buy is the Shure SM7B mic. It's the ones that Joe Rogan uses and a lot of other high-end podcasters use. But the sound of those, of course, is just a beautiful sound. And, you just can't beat that sound of those microphones. But anyway, I like these mics, like I said, the ones I use. I'll put all these descriptions, of course, in the description below. So these microphones, of course, they need arms to hold on to, so it's, you're free-wheeling, and you don't have to worry about moving stuff around too much once you have it positioned. So just basic pod mic arms. Once again, you don't have to go really, really high-end, which you could. You can go over the top and spend literally hundreds and hundreds of dollars per arm, but why would you want to do that? There's all different types of arms, and I grabbed mine on Amazon, and I will share the link with you for those as well. Now, the cords for the microphones, you want those as well. The XLR cords that I use male-female ends to them that go into my H6 Zoom recorder. And it's all preference. You can just get standard black cords, or you can get colored cords. So you could share, have blue for number 1, red for number 2, purple for number 3. So it's easy for your cord management, for controlling your cable management. Now, towards the end of your podcast, once you do everything, you've recorded it all, video, audio, you will want to edit it. So you have to edit this podcast that you want to upload. So for editing purposes, there's a few different things you can use to edit. For sound, I use Audacity. Audacity, it's a great little program, and it's free, which is good. Free is always good. That's what I use for audio. Now, for my video editing plus audio editing, I use a program called HCH Video Editing. It's a great little program. You got to pay for it, of course. I will throw the URLs for these items in my description as well below this video. But great little programs. NCH video editing software is fantastic. I've used it for years. It's great. Now, the Audacity, being free software, in my opinion, it's probably the best in the market for being free too, and it just does so many things. It's just second to none as far as I'm concerned. You can use other stuff as well, but like I said, it's really good. NCH video software, of course, like I said, it's a bit of a learning curve, but once you catch on to it, it'll be like second nature to you. Now, if you want to pay a monthly fee for another editing software for video and audio, you can grab yourself a Adobe Premiere Pro. Now, it's going to run you probably about $49-$50 a month. It's pretty pricey as far as I'm concerned. It's like $600 a year. It's to each their own, but the Premiere Pro does an amazing job. It's very detailed. Depends how much you want to get into as far as editing and detail of your work that you just cut. So once you have your script together, then once you choose the software and then you record everything, all the equipment that I've mentioned in this video, and then you've edited it all, your audio, you've linked it all together, then now you're ready to upload your video to the YouTube channel that you just set up for yourself at the start of this. Of course, you have to do thumbnails and stuff, but that'll be for a different podcast to explain how to do all that stuff. But you can do thumbnails. Create the thumbnails how you wish. I like my thumbnails are basic. They're always the same. I just call mine at the top the Surge Effect, what it's about, and then the name of it. And then usually if it's an episode, I'll put the episode number. If it's a motivational one, I don't bother with that. And that's how I do mine. So, hey, congratulations, podcasters. You've now completed the first small part of becoming a podcaster by uploading that first video. So, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this small tutorial that I've put together for you. Please feel free to leave any comments below in the section below on some of the stuff that I've described for you. I hope this has helped you out in some small way. I know people have always asked about, they'll always ask me on my emails, what I use and how I do stuff. So I thought I'd throw a quick podcast together in regards to this. But thanks for tuning in to this podcast, everyone. I really, really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe and like my videos. It really helps with the algorithm on YouTube. It's much appreciated. It moves you up the scale. And once you being a podcaster, you'll start to realize that that's what happens with your videos. You'll get moved up the line as people subscribe to your channel. Because like I described in my video, little video presentation earlier in regards to setting up your channel, you need 1,000 subscribers right off the bat before you can get it monetized, and you need 4,000 hours watched on your videos before you get monetized, before you can make any little bit of money at all from YouTube. It's kind of minuscule, but hey, that's the way it works, and you got to say to yourself once again, why am I doing this? Am I doing this for fun or money or to help people? Once you wrap your head around that, don't worry about the money factor. It's really inconsequential because you're doing it for the right reasons. So anyway, like I said, please subscribe, like, ring that little bell on my channel. It's much appreciated because when you ring that bell, you get notified when I upload new content. And my videos are also uploaded on rumble.com. Okay. You can also find my podcasts on any iPhone or Android device. And you just type in the Surge Effect in your search bar under any podcast application. It's as simple as that. Anyway, once again, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated, everyone. Have yourself a great day. Cheers. This episode sponsored by He Shirts, She Shirts. Go to www.heshirtssheshirts.ca. Just type in the letters TSA, The Surge Effect. When you check out, type in TSA for your coupon and receive 10% off your next purchase. Thanks for listening to today's podcast, everybody.